This is involving, firstly, distances from origin to your plane. Let's say you have got a plane equation in this structure, r dot n is d in scalar product form. I am going to divide both sides of the equation by mod n. When you divide by mod n and get it to this format is of the form r dot n cap. N over mod n is n cap, giving me d over mod n. I am trying to force the normal vector to become a unit vector. Because when you do that, there's a meaning to the value on the right-hand side. This value is distance from origin to plane if you mod it. But the proof I won't show at this point going to the A levels. It's not important to know the proof, but it's important to apply. Okay, so this value, distance origin to plane. Okay, can I use this immediately to solve for part 1 on the right? I've got these two planes here. This is called P1. This plane is P2. The two planes are this distance apart. Can we find distance of P1 to origin? So to start this problem, let's go for scalar product form first. Let's convert. The normal vector is your 2, 3, minus 6 equals to 10. In order to apply this formula that we have, you mod the normal vector. Okay, so mod means we go for the square root formula. This will give me 7. So to go for this format with n cap, we will be dividing by 7 on both sides of the equation. So what's the distance to origin? Distance origin to P1 will be, we just read off that value on the right-hand side. So as a consequence to this, you can find distance between two planes. For example, here, let's say my pi 1, I have found distance to origin, pi 2 also distance to origin. Those two values, if we see on this diagram, pi 1 and pi 2, visualize as the plane is coming out from the page here. Okay, so you have the respective distances to the origin. This will allow you to find distance between these two planes. You will take the difference. So take the difference between the two D's, which is this formula here. This formula is then the formula to find distance between two planes. There's one small catch that I need you to know. When we apply this formula, you must have got the same normal vector. Same normal vector before you apply d1 minus d2 over mod n. Okay, so you will see here that my normal is the same for both of the planes. It must be the same normal. Okay, let's use this information. We go for part 2 on the right side. In part 2, you are asked to find the value A, which is this unknown on plane 2. The information that we have is distance between two planes, 8 over 7. So I want to use this formula. Okay, so to start that formula, let's start with P2. P2 equation, let's change to scalar product form. It's minus 2 minus 3, 6 is A. But we should quickly realize that this normal is not in the same direction as P1. It's the negative. So I have to convert by multiplying with a minus sign to both. I'm going to leave a bit of gap. Later, I want to divide by mod n. So you have 2, 3 minus 6 is negative A. But to apply that distance formula, I need to divide by mod n both sides. So we divide by 7 on both sides of the equation. Okay, now let's go for this formula. Distance between my two planes will therefore be 10 over 7 from plane 1. Subtract negative A over 7 from plane 2. This difference must be 8 over 7. Okay, the question said is 8 over 7. So because of the mod, it will generate for you two equations. Okay, first equation will be the positive sign if you remove the mod. Or second equation will be your negative 8/7. So you can simplify both equations to solve for the A value. Okay, so this formula is important. When you have R dot n cap is this value, the significance of this value on the right is always distance to O. So R dot n cap always gives you distance to origin on the right side if you mod that number. We need to use this concept to arrive at another formula below, which if you know the formula, you can solve such questions very, very quickly. So this plane, let me illustrate the problem. This plane is already of the form n cap in the middle. I know that the distance to origin is this value. So I've drawn it in the middle here where this is the distance to my origin of this plane. The question will ask you for, can you find for me two new planes equation that are of a fixed distance away, like distance k away from the middle? So you're supposed to find the equation of the top plane where you add k to the distance and you have minus k and get it to the bottom plane. Let's get equations of the top and bottom plane. Now the concept is because these three planes are parallel, all three planes, I can use the same normal vector. Parallel planes can use the same normal vector. So my top plane equation, how will it look like? My left-hand side, no change. It will be n over mod n. Let's go for scalar product form, but the normal vector I use the same. The crucial concept to get the top plane equation is, what is the top plane distance to origin? Top plane distance to origin will be, you take d over mod n plus k. So the right-hand side of the top plane should be d over mod n plus k. Because I've just shown you above that the right-hand side of the equation should be distance to O. So bottom plane equation is the same. Same structure. R dot n over mod n. What is the distance to origin? It is this distance here. The green distance is d over mod n subtract k. So your right-hand side should read d over mod n subtract k. This is the logic of how I arrive at the top and bottom plane equation. But if you don't want to visualize this in the exam, if you can memorize this, then this would be best. I will suggest that you memorize, but the logic is quite straightforward. Whatever distance to origin, then you just do a plus minus k at the back. We worked through this example to show you numbers on the right-hand side. This was an A-levels question, but nowadays usually it's in the last parts of the problem. When you have got this plane equation, let's find equation of new planes that are distance 12 away. First thing you should do is always to find the modulus, okay, because the formula needs mod n. So we mod the normal vector, minus 2, 1, 2. Right-hand side, we simplify. So 2 square, 1 square, 2 square, which is 3. What is the equation for the new planes? If you understand the formula, we will directly apply. It will just be one step, then you simplify. So your equation will be R dot. Let's divide mod n first. So you have 1/3 equals, right-hand side also 1/3. And you go for your plus minus k. That means on the right, you want to have plus minus 12. If you divide mod n first, then you do the plus minus. So after this, it's just about splitting up into two different equations and simplify. You simplify the plus and minus, that gives you two answers, which is the equation of the two.